What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Tiffany Haddish is really starting to get down bad, brothers. It's starting to get crazy. It's starting to get down bad. But I really want you guys to focus in on where she's at right now in life, all right? And so often as men did we used to hear that, you know, women have more opportunities, and if you don't treat her right, somebody else will. And to be honest, I used to really think that, hey, you know, if I don't do what I'm supposed to do for this lady, she's gonna go somewhere else. And to be honest, that is true. It could be true, but the lady has to be something that somebody else wants. You know, she'd have to keep herself together, and it's not always about looks, but looks helps. But you know, you got to be something that the market desires, something that somebody wants to deal with. Now, in the case that you're not something that somebody wants to deal with, then it just won't matter. And that's the issue. It's not really going to matter. And so when it comes to Tiffany Haddish, it doesn't really matter that Tiffany Haddish, you know, she's still attractive and, you know, still has opportunities. It's the reality that Tiffany Haddish, nobody wants to put up with her. And we see evidence of that. If you look at what happened with Tiffany Haddish, 2 DUIs in a year, your ex goes on to have a successful relationship with Jennifer Hudson and Common. You got dumped by Common. And so once you start seeing particular ladies go through these issues, they'll start coming out and talking like this.
Thought I was horny in my 20s. No. Thought I was horny when I turned 30.
Yeah,
No. Turned 40, I'm like, I will demolish these men.
I will eat you.
I will take your and make it my treasure. Run that.
Now here's Tiffany Haddish talking to some ladies about her sexual peak. And she thought she was, you know, at a certain age, in her 20s, she thought she was 30s, thought she was. Now she's 40, and now she can just take your, okay? And in other words, what is she saying? All I got to offer you is some box, okay? Because really, I don't have nothing else to talk about. I'm delusional. I don't really care about you as a mate. There is nothing that I can get or do for you. So the only thing that I can give you is the box. Now, I want to build on this because this is important, because a lot of times what I hear women talking about is, you know, guys talk about too much, you know, what else do you have to offer other than that? Well, when Tiffany Haddish say this, y'all don't got no problem. And the guys who really got something to offer, it's not gonna matter that Tiffany Haddish is, you know, still relatively young looking and take care of herself. Nobody wanna put up with that. So who gets to deal with Tiffany Haddish? Somebody young, somebody broker, somebody she gotta pay. Same thing with Lala Anthony. You can't tell me that somebody in the league, somebody that got something going on, wants to put up with Lala Anthony. Let me just tell you, you can't even get in the door. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of these, and I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, okay? A lot of ladies out here wanna blame ageism, wanna blame being black, okay? That's a weak argument. If you've never had any level of respect for a man, or you're something that a man can deal with, and over the years, you haven't changed that, and you know, you're just toxic and unaccountable. After a while, the kind of men that you want, who are successful and who are doing well, you just can't get to them. There's no way to get to them. So if you're fine and super bad, you might get to them every now and then you just can't keep them. So Tiffany Haddish is a good looking lady and she's in Hollywood, but your reputation is so bad that nobody wants to deal with you because they can't get anything from you. And cheeks is not something to get something from when you're a guy that got money, all right? If you're a guy and you're doing good in the industry, that's the last thing that is important is some damn cheeks. That's nothing. You can get that any day. Now, if I need some peace of mind, some respect, a woman that I can vibe with, understand, a woman that understands my role as a man, now see, that means you gotta been working on that your whole life. Let me give an example of what I'm talking about, brothers. My grandfather, I talk about him quite often on this channel, was not a very educated man. Wasn't very well educated. He taught me how to cut the grass. Boy, keep that wheel by that edge, all right? But what he taught me was, as a man, you gotta be responsible and take care of your family. You gotta sacrifice. You gotta be there every day. When I was a kid, He was up every morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning when he retired. He took us to school. He picked us up from school. He was always available. You got to do what you're supposed to do and be on the job when you are a man. Get on the job, be on the job. All right. So as I saw that when I got older, that's the kind of man I knew that I needed to be. A kind of a man that could take care of my business, that could take care of business, or potentially could take care of a woman or a wife whenever that time comes. That's what I learned. All right. I learned that. Now, the problem is when you're 40, 50 something, and you've never learned what your value is to anybody as a lady, then here you are when you're 40 and you're talking about sex. Like, what about your ability to be something that a man wants to be around? Like, where is your elegance? Where is your femininity? What do you have to add to somebody's life? And what you can talk about are grotesque things that, quite frankly, a man that you would like is not interested in. And that's what you're seeing happening in today's world. Men are still interested in sex, but the reality is because there's so much information, and to invest into long-term relationships now is much higher than before. You don't have many buyers like before into long-term relationships. You just don't have it. So when guys want to get to a certain level in their life and they know what they got, sex is something that automatically comes on the table, okay? Like, we're not talking about how many times you're gonna clap, when you're gonna clap. That's already there on the table. Every guy knows that. What men are going to ask now is, okay, listen, what else do you bring besides that? You cannot be a 44-year-old woman talking about your peak is you want to clap. Most dudes, I'm gonna tell you like this. If a dude is busy, he don't got all day to be over there with you clapping like that. Get off me. I gotta work. I gotta get up. I got meetings. I don't have time to be clapping your cheeks every day. But are you gonna be respectful? Now, I'm gonna tell you like this, right? Look at Sha'Carri Richardson. That whole situation with Christian Coleman. If you guys have seen that updated video of her, you would see how down bad that whole situation is. I mean, it's terrible. This lady is rude. She's disrespectful. Now, you can probably tell by the way she acting, it probably go down in the bedroom. Because you got that little vibe like something wrong with you. Of course it goes down into the bedroom because you're not sane. But men need more than that. And when you start to see women relying on sex talk and booty clapping in their 40s, that's all they have to. I hate to say this, but what they're saying to the world is, this is what I got. This is what I got for you. And if you're younger, I'm gonna pay for it. When in their 20s, it was like, what can you do for me? And literally, some of the women are becoming men with that. And it's sad to see it. Like, how could you not learn? It's like being in business. You know, like, I'm in here in Africa, right? And sometimes I'll talk to people who've been in business or in the same business for many years. And of course, I've met people and they've complained about the fact that the business is not what it used to be. So why is the business not what it used to be? Well, things are different now. Times are different now. The Chinese, they came in and they made things more expensive. But really what it is that you never adjusted to what your customers required. You didn't care about what the market required. So because you didn't care about the market just didn't care about you. And so now, because you didn't care about the market, now all of these excuses about why you can't get what you want from the customers, which is a loyal customer base, which is the fan base, which is all of that. You never thought about building a business that created an experience for anybody. You wanted a business that basically was down bad. That's all you wanted. You wanted a down bad business. And so you got a down bad business. This is what you got, all right? And you want to blame everybody but yourself as to why you are where you are. And then guess what? You're still doing the same thing as to what got you into a losing ass position. And you'll see that all the time. People sometimes are funny, man. They will continue to go and deal in the same dusty, same situation that got them in a bad point in the first place. They'll keep it going. And then they'll be declining. They will never adjust to what somebody wants. And that's Tiffany Haddish right now. And it's sad. And she is definitely down bad. But I know she mad. One thing I can tell you, it's not my fault. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Shady Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. Appreciate you for all you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.